So you girls, tell me how you know each other.
You can start.
Well, we met each other when I was getting ready for ADCC. I decided to do some of my camp in Wales because I was doing some training with Ash Williams in Australia. He somehow convinced me to come to the small town of Swansea, in the middle of absolutely buttfuck nowhere. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear in this, but we got thrown into a house together, and 2 weeks later we were getting on better than people that I've known for years and years.
I don't think
it's just
people
another
liked
version.
it. Yeah. We just basically realised we're the Welsh and Aussie version of each other, and it ended exactly like this.
And now, anytime we go travelling for competitions, if we're anywhere close to each other, we'll meet up and we'll spend some time together and we'll get some training.
Stay together for 2 weeks in a van.
In a van together, exactly. Any excuse to spend time with each other and do jiu-jitsu together, we'll find it. Yeah.
But you fight on the same divisions. Mm-hmm. How does that work?
So, like, obviously in the gi, we actually now fight 2 different divisions. Adele took the bit of the bullet and decided to cut. I do not. With, like, no gi, we are the same division. And, like, ADCC now, we would be the same division under 55. We've just we spoke about it a lot. And, like, how, when we have to fight, because one day we're going to have to, that would be, like, the actual dream is both of us hit, like, a final together. We just go for it. At the end of the day, like, if we hold back, it's going to water down our sport. But if we go for it and put the light on us, we know, like, we can throw down and make one hell of a show. So why not do that? We obviously then discuss, like, not chasing each other's titles, but that's literally all we done. We just said if we fight each other, we go for it and just see what happens. We cry together.
We can cry together, exactly. We win or lose, we cry together. I think we both just have an immense amount of respect for one another. So we're both chasing similar goals and similar dreams. And, you know, I want Ashley to succeed and win all the titles that she wants to succeed. And I would love to see her do it. You know, I'd coach her in the semis and then verse her in the finals if I needed to.
You just see us one day crying, just screaming at each other. You don't know what would happen, but we're screaming and crying. Yeah. That's all you know.
How long have you been training, each one of you? Like, training in...
Just in general?
Yeah.
This will be my 14th year, I think.
21st year?
Just a couple of years. Just a little small time.
Like, and how do you see the growth in terms of women in the sport? How do you see it? Because obviously it's absolutely charming to see you, like delightful to see both of you, how you get along, and how do you see this sisterhood kind of going in the jiu-jitsu community? I don't know.
I think, like, it's very much changed, like, over the years as well. Like, I've been competing at adult for so long that I've seen the ups and downs of the whole thing. I think within each of our countries, like, for the UK, there's a very strong, close-knit group of girls. Yeah. And I know for ours, it's the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think in terms of that, everyone within our own countries are trying to push for the best for everyone. Overall, like, we're good friends with some of the other athletes around the world as well. And I think everyone just wants the best to come out of the sport.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's no animosity amongst a lot of the female competitors. I think there's respect amongst kind of all the competitors, and we go out there and we do our thing, we do our job, and then we leave that on the mats, and we can kind of step off the mats and still be quite friendly to one another, and like, you know, we stay together and we bond with one another. And I think that there's nothing wrong with being able to have that side of a friendship and being able to compete against each other.
And tell me something, if you could think of a dream match, what would that be?
Think of a...
Dream match?
Dream match. Oh, I know what... I'd love to have another match with Maisa, preferably Nogi. I'd love to have a Nogi match with Maisa. But really, and that's in no way a call out. I don't want her to watch that and think I'm calling her out. No, I think that we'd have a really interesting match. I think that it would be really good. It would be a very interesting match to watch for the viewers. But it'd also be just a lot of fun, I think. But really, any of the 55ers on the scene at the moment would be heaps of fun. There's been a massive jump in the talent that's coming out of the smaller weight divisions for the females. There's a lot more numbers. There was something like 16 light feathers this year, which was one of the biggest female black belt divisions ever, which was really cool to see. So really a match with any of those would be really amazing.
For me, mine was always Michelle Nicolini, and like I fought her last year, and then since then it's basically the same as just fight any 55 kilo girl that comes out and just go for it. Like at the end of the day, I've been lucky enough to face some of the people I always wanted matched against, like Nicolini and Uzmeki. So just fight the next lot that come at me.
Nice. Let's see what happens. Also, you can call out someone out of respect.
Right, respectfully, I'd like. There's a
list, I think.
There's a list, but like all with respect, like nothing malicious. I want to verse them because I respect what they do. I think that we'd have some really fun and interesting matches. You know, Rocha's definitely on that list. You know, she can take that as a call out if she wants that as a call out. But and that's somebody again that like I get along with Jasmine quite well. But I'd love a match with her. I think it'd be fireworks. I think it'd be a really interesting match. But yeah, hopefully we'll see some of these girls at the ADCC 55 division.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good division.
It'll be amazing. I think it's a really cool step in the right direction to start adding some more female divisions into the ADCC.
I was going to ask you, what do you think about those new additions?
Amazing. Like obviously for the lighter fighters, for myself, like both of us really, we've been featherweight fighters, so we were always outweighed at under 60, but we were outweighed by quite a lot because a lot of the girls were cutting down from like 65 down. So like for me, I'd be walking in 10 kilos lighter than those girls walk around naturally. So having an under 55 division is phenomenal. Like it's finally introducing the roost weight like featherweights into those divisions where they can actually stand a chance, because you look at a lot of the light featherweights when they were doing trials, they were just getting crushed. And like no matter your technique, if you've got a girl 15 kilos heavier than you, you're stuck. And it's good to see like the heavier weights, I say heavier weights, they're not actually that heavy, like actually getting split up a bit more, so you're not gonna get the 65 kilo girls that can't cut fighting the 80 kilo girls, which is really good to see.
It'll definitely put a spanner in the works with how the division's going to play out now. There'll be some really interesting matchups, and it'll be interesting to see who goes up and who goes down out of those girls. But like, I think it's a step in the right direction. There's just, again, like 16 girls in the light feather division, so there's numbers in those divisions and there's talent in those divisions. So for them to now have a division that better suits them, so they're not significantly getting outweighed by some of the bigger girls, I think it's really cool. But like I keep saying, it's a step in the right directions. We'd love to also see like always more progression, always more. But I think for now, we just got to get the numbers out there and show that there's enough females to keep pushing these divisions. I think the more females that start registering and doing all the trials and the more interesting matches that we get, you know, then we can maybe add an absolute division and then a heavier division and a super fight division. You know, there's space for it, but we need to show them that there's numbers for it and that, you know, we get the views and we can put on interesting matches.
I'm going to say it. The numbers are already there. I had just said we have 16 women fighting on the feather division. But yeah, I guess that what we need is for them to realize it's a fact. It's not something that we need to keep growing. Like those female divisions, some of them were as big as some of the guys.
But even things like the fact that, and now we're just getting into all the inequalities between the females. Yeah. The fact that in IBJJF, the female finals are on the last day, but the males quarters, semis and finals are on the separate day. You know, the fact that we could have up to 3 matches on day 1 and only 1 match day 2, and the males can have 2 matches day 1 and 2 matches day 2. Things like that, you know, make a difference. And I think that if all those things, I think, should be based on the number of competitors in the division rather than a gender divide. I think that it just makes more sense nowadays to have it as a number division. I do respect the fact that IBJJF give out the same
amount of people,
and they base it off the amount of people, and I have an immense amount of respect for that, and I think that that's fair. But yeah, I think that the other kind of aspects around it, like whether you're doing the semis on the Sunday and the finals on the Sunday versus doing quarter semis on one day and then only the finals on another day, it makes a difference.
Like we're taking steps in the right direction, but there's always going to be room for improvement. But people actually start to need to look at the female athletes and be like, wait, they deserve this. And like last ADCC, we proved it clearly by having more divisions added. And the amount of times I hear the female finals at Worlds are always the ones that like the girls are throwing down.
Yeah.
Because I think it takes a lot more for people to respect the women, unfortunately. So if you have a bit of a lame final, everyone's like, oh, they're rubbish. Whereas if a guy has a bad final, they're just like, oh, it just wasn't their day.
They played the game.
Yeah, they just done good jiu-jitsu tactics. And you're like, no, the girls did better and you just don't want to look at it.
Yeah, we just want to put eyes on the girls, and they, like I keep saying, like the girls are out there to give firework matches, and we prove it time and time again.
Yeah.
photos.
You're the same height as me.
I know, but I'm gonna look short because I'm slant.
Okay. The first question.
What you're gonna do is like pan down to get back to this.
The first question. How is the jiu-jitsu thing? And yeah, but cut them here.
I like that, you know, just sitting on a pillow.
Because there's a
I
slant.
love what you did, Bendle.
Take the hair down. Take the hair back.
My girlfriend's gonna yell at me for not taking my hair down, I guarantee it.
I'm going to be like supernatural here.
I pulled the back of my hair and I was like, there's a knot. We're going to just make sure that we can't see it.
Are we filming?
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay.
Action.
Done.